will be solving linear systems of equations by elimination. Elimination is when we add the two equations together and one of the variables cancel out. That way we can solve for the other variable. So the example that we have here, we have 2x plus 3y equals 7 and 4x minus 3y equals 5. Whenever you add the two equations together, you want to make sure that you have two variables, your one variable that have the same number, but one's a positive and one's a negative. Here with my y's, I have a positive 3 and a negative 3. You want them to be the same number, but one positive and one negative, so that they can cancel out. So these equations, there's nothing we have to do except add them together. So when we add them together, 2x plus 4x is 6x. These y's cancel. 7 plus 5 is 12. Divide 6, x equal 2. Now we found x to be 2. We have x and y in our problem, so after you solve for one variable, you have to go back and solve for the other variable. So we need to go back to one of these two equations. It doesn't matter which one you choose, you will get the exact same answer because they're a system. So I'm going to take the first equation and plug in the 2 we found for x. I'm going to plug it in here. So when we plug it in, we get 4 plus 3y equals 7. We're solving for y, so subtract the 4. You get 3y equals 3, y equals 1. So our answer is the 0.21. And you want to get in the habit of writing your answers as a point. Writing your answers x equals 2 and y equals 1 is fine, but you want to get in the habit of writing it as a point because that's the answer. The next problem, we have 2x plus y equal negative 1 and x minus 3y equal negative 4. With these x's, I can't cancel. I can't add them and they cancel. The same with the y's. I can't add them and they cancel. So what we want to do is we want to either decide that we want to cancel the x's or decide that we want to cancel the y's. It's up to you. If you want to cancel the x's, then this is positive 2, so I would make this a negative 2. If we want to cancel the y's, I would make this a positive 3 because this one is a negative 3. So we would multiply at least one of the equations by what we want it to change to. So I'm going to take the first equation and multiply it by 3 so that the y's will be positive 3y and negative 3y. And we have to multiply by each term in the equation. So we get 6y plus 3y equal negative 3. Now I have a negative 3 and a positive 3, and we can add them together. So here is the second equation. I just put it on top and then put our first equation that we changed below. Now we can add them together, and remember there's a 1 here. So we get 7x equal to negative 7. Divide 7, x equal negative 1. So remember, keep in mind, once you find one variable, you go back to one of the two, or even this one, it doesn't matter, and plug in the negative 1 for x to solve for y. I just like to stick with the first equation. Going to the first equation, plugging in negative 1 for x. We get negative 2 plus y equal negative 1. Add 2 to both sides. Then we're left with y equal to 1. So remember, like I said, you want to get used to writing your answers as a point. Then we have one more example. 2x plus y equals 3. 4x plus 2y equals 6. Again, there's nothing I can add together and they cancel. So we want to decide if we want to cancel the x's. If I cancel the x's, we have 2x and 4x. I can make this a negative 4 and then they can cancel. Or you can take the y's, and this y can multiply by -2 to have a -2y, and they would cancel. So it just depends on which one you want to cancel out. I'm going to take the first equation and multiply -2 so the y's cancel. So when we distribute -2 here, remember, pay attention to those negative signs. The negative signs, a lot of people forget them. You have to distribute it to each term. -4x, -2y, and -6. Do not forget to multiply by this number by itself. So now I can add these two together. So now let's add them. When I add them, notice that the x's cancel, the y's cancel, and the 6's cancel. So this side of the equal sign, I'm left with nothing but 0. This side of the equal sign, I'm left with nothing but 0. When this happens, this is a special case. Since they are equal, that means that these two are the exact same line. And since they are the same line, they have infinitely many solutions. So whenever these cancel out and both sides equal, infinitely many solutions. And then note, when they cancel out like this and the numbers are not equal to each other, they are parallel lines. And when they're parallel lines, they will never have a solution. I hope this video helped you with solving systems by elimination. If you need any extra help, please contact your instructor.